Since I was little, the ocean has always interested me, and of all the ocean creatures in the world, whale sharks are my favorite. For our mini vacation, Kiara and I decided to go to Mexico to view the whale sharks swimming in the wild. We only had one day to see them, and we were at the beginning of the season, so there was no guarantee that we were going to be able to see anything. The company that we decided to go with for this excursion was Eco Tours. They are an environmentally friendly company that pays extra careful attention to their environmental impact. The payment for this company is $165 per person, and then $10 for their preserve entrance fee. You can pay for everything online up front, or you can pay in person in pesos, which is actually cheaper than paying in US dollars. On the morning of our trip, our wake-up time was at 4 a.m. because our pickup time was at 5 a.m. There's a 2-hour drive from Tulum to Cancun, but because of construction on the way, it extended our time a little bit longer. Once we arrived at the marina, we were given a light breakfast of bread and coffee and briefed on our route and schedule for the rest of the day.
Let's enjoy. I invite you to the sharks.
There's a 2-hour boat ride to get from the marina all the way out to the spot with the sharks. There was also a worry that we wouldn't be able to see too many sharks, but once we made it to that marina, one of the other tour groups said the morning before they had spotted 6 sharks in the area, so things were looking up for us. 10 minutes out from the shark location, we were told to suit up and get ready to go. Our tour guide, Ernesto, asked who wanted to go first. Kiara and I, of course, volunteered to go. As our driver approached the location with the sharks, we were told to sit on the edge of the boat and get ready to jump. Once in position and spotted, our dive master, Brandon, launched into the water saying, "Jump." I was extremely nervous because, again, I'm not that strong of a swimmer, but I had been practicing for about a month in advance, getting used to my fins and goggles and how to relax my breathing while underwater. So I felt like I was a little bit more prepared. We all got 3 dives together with the sharks. When we were on the boat driving next to the sharks, they don't look all that big and fast moving, but once you get into the water with them, their true size shows, and their slow moving tails is actually pushing them through the water extremely quickly. We only got about a minute or 2 to dive and swim along with them before they swam off into the distance. That's why we were told the moment we touched the water to start swimming forward and look down so we can see the sharks and swim alongside them for as long as possible. On our 3rd dive, Kiara succumbed to the motion sickness and wasn't able to dive. However, I was able to see the sharks in a vertical feeding position where they sit in one spot and filter all of the water and plankton for as long as they possibly can. This was an amazing experience. All that swim practice that I did finally paid off in those moments where I got to swim alongside these giants. One thing, however, that I did learn about this trip to Mexico is bring more cash than you need. Also, bring it in peso because you get way more money in peso for US dollars. So make sure you get that transfer. After our amazing encounter, we boated over to a party beach at Isla Mujeres to relax and have lunch. For lunch, we had a hand-mashed guacamole and ceviche. It was our first true experience of ceviche. For those who don't own a GoPro or waterproof camera, the guide will offer you to buy the videos they took for $20 on the ride back to Tulum. They try to make sure to get everyone in with the sharks as much as they can. It does come as a bunch of videos and not separated by groups, so you'll have a bunch of videos of the other people too. We were lucky because the weather was perfect and there were about 6 whale sharks that day. This is a highly recommended thing to anyone who is just curious, but don't worry, you don't have to be a professional swimmer to enjoy this amazing experience. They provide life vests for extra buoyancy if you're not that strong of a swimmer. This experience has been on my bucket list alongside traveling to Japan for many years, and I couldn't be any happier to have checked it off my list. By the way, you can catch some of my Japan adventures here as well. Who knows what's next for me? Actually, there was one other reason we went to Mexico, but you'll just have to watch the next video to see what we did and where we went on our last day. See you in the next one. Peace.